Hello everybody, welcome to another video, another challenge in Kerbal Space Program. And so I was given a lot of really good suggestions from the last video, and I can't do all of them, obviously. So I'm going to do what I can, and so I'm going to catalog some of the challenges I was given, and I'll be doing them in later videos. But so, you know, I was given one to put an X-Wing into orbit. Another one was to put a lander onto the moon and get back using every part only once. Doesn't mean use every part once, but every part that I do use, only use it once. So that's the challenge that I have. And so right now I have one parachute, one command module, one life support container, one life support waste container, and one heat shield. Where it's going to get tricky is the decouplers, because I can only use each one once. I think I'll just use this guy for this upper stage. So what I need to be able to do is get onto the moon and off the moon. I think I'll do that with one single stage. So if I do this really big stage, that should get me on and off the moon. And I'll want something really efficient for that. The Terrier should do fine. That will allow me to put higher thrust engines on lower down. And of course I'm going to need some sort of electric power and control. So let's add some maneuverability. Here we go. And we'll need a battery pack to power it. Let's see. Oh, they're under electrical now. Yeah, they keep changing it up on me. So get one of those. And I need something to generate power with. So, you know, these photovoltaic panels can only put one on. I can put the larger kind on the other side. There we go. That'll work. And so also put a 1x6 array on that side and another 1x6 array on this other side. They are different parts, though, as you can plainly tell. So those will unfold in space to generate power as well, catching the sunlight. Alright, I need to be able to land. I'll land on the engine bell. And I need to decouple here as well. So I can use this guy because I haven't used it yet. And let's see. Need to be able to get this around the moon. Let's see. I've already used that. This is where I still start to really feel the pressure. Okay, so we'll use this orange tank with... Actually, that orange tank will probably do better later on. Let's put this guy on. And something efficient on this guy as well. There we go. One more decoupler. Let's do this guy. And so we have this fuel tank. And then let's extend it, make it wider. Can use this adapter, and that has liquid fuel and oxidizer. Okay, and then adapt from that to something even wider. Let's see, there we go. That'll do just fine. Awesome. And finally, last fuel tank. I want something really big and powerful. Where is it? There you are. There, and the engine on the bottom we'll use, nope, not that guy. We'll use this guy. That will provide lots of thrust. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some sort of structural support. But I can use only one structural strut. So we'll put it on here. Maybe hopefully that'll keep this guy stable enough as we go into orbit. Yeah, I'm going to be required to be pointing straight up most of the ascent and then circularize once I'm in space. So that'll be a challenge. That'll be a real big challenge. Alright. To Moon on budget. Yeah, we'll call it a budget. Cool. Let's launch this thing. Once again, I don't know if I'm going to do any cuts, because cutting is boring and it's already late on Saturday night, and I don't want to be working on this, you know, beyond Saturday. Let's see. Okay, here's the moment of truth, right? Beautiful start. Looks like this will get us up there pretty easily. Yeah, I don't think we're going to lose too much fuel. I don't want to turn too soon because that'll start wobbling the ship. And once we have our death wobble, then it's all over from there. So, I have to do the very fuel inefficient thing. Now I'm going to pull down my thrust a little bit, and the reason is if I'm thrusting too hard through the atmosphere, then I'm losing, because of all the drag, I end up losing power, and so it's more fuel efficient to go slower through the atmosphere on ascent. It's not as fun, but it is smarter. When I get to 30 kilometers, I think that's where I'm going to start turning, and I'll try to get to a 90 degree or to a 45 degree angle. So 27, 28, 29, 30. Here we go. Turn over, don't wobble. We're looking good. And yeah, the wobble, you can see it on the yaw, but it's mostly good. I think we're fine, and I think I can pull up the thrust quite a bit. I'll turn over a little bit more, increase the gravity turn, full thrust, and just go on the horizon. I don't think the wobble is going to be too bad at this point. And we'll just check it out on the map. Oh yeah, we're good. So we're going to cut off the engine and then reactivate it to circularize. Let's see. Want apoapsis and periapsis to be about the same. They don't have to be exactly the same, just close enough. I don't know that I'm going to have enough fuel in this stage to make the 1400 meter per second burn, but we can always try, right? So it's going to be a 30-second burn, and how much were we burning? Like 16 units per second. And in here there is okay, so if it's 30 seconds, we call it 10 multiplied by 3, so 16 would become 160, and then times that by 3, we'll multiply that by 3. I think we'll have enough, actually. I might be wrong, but we just might have enough. At any rate, I'm going to start burning when my time to the burn is half of the burn time. So when it's 15 seconds away, that's when I'll initiate that burn. In the meantime, I can start unfurling these solar panels. There we go. That will provide the electric charge that I need to survive in space. I just finished watching Apollo 13, by the way. That was fun to revisit. Well, let's hope that we don't have any similar problems in this voyage, though. All right, so no, we used a 142 per second. Uh-oh. This is where I was getting the 116. Yeah. This stage will do a good deal of the burn. But yeah, there we go. We burned out. But that's good, though, because it means the debris won't stay in orbit. It will fall back to Kerbin, and it won't add to Kessler syndrome, which is a really bad problem, something that we are facing in real life, and it's really bad. I think the last estimate was somewhere around 20 to 30 years before Kessler syndrome becomes critical, which is not good news. Because once Kessler syndrome starts really activating, it's going to destroy all of our satellites and everything. Okay, so I can set the moon as target. I'm already pointing right at it, so in theory I could thrust and probably hit it. So you know what? I'm going to do that. Not very fuel efficient, I know, but I think we'll be able to make it. So we have 1,200 units, and when we're at full thrust, we use 8. Yeah, we should be able to do just fine. It's 800 meters per second delta V to get to the moon, or to get an injection to the moon, and I'm banking on this having enough fuel to get that lunar injection and then to circularize around the moon, maybe even go into a suborbital trajectory. But we'll see. That's not guaranteed at all. Okay, I need to bring down my attitude a bit, so we'll go to prograde, and what that will do is push the apoapsis back a little bit. Actually, that's not what I want. I want it to go forward a little bit, so we'll go back to target. Yeah, so I'll put the apoapsis forward. I need the apoapsis to be about 90 degrees off from where the moon is, and I'm struggling on that. So we're going to go somewhere between radial out and target. That should do. That should do. And we're almost there. It's going to get exponentially faster. The apoapsis height will. Okay, and we're going to do a deep throttle. Here we go. That is a beautiful, beautiful encounter. So let's get as close to the moon as we can to make full use of the Oberth effect. Awesome, awesome. And we'll try to go in front of the moon a little bit to, or I mean, behind the moon a little bit to help us catch up with its speed as much as possible, using its gravity assist. You see, what I'm doing is I've only put in this much energy, but going around the moon will boost me this much energy and would actually get me to fly out of the system. Not out of the solar system, but out of the Kerbin system. And so the idea here is that this will give me the extra oomph that I need to circularize around the moon, using as little fuel as possible. Yeah, so using the moon to help circularize around it. And I have plenty of fuel remaining. I think I'll be able to circularize and even get a suborbital trajectory with that tank. So let's warp to the moon. Here we go. This is always the most boring part of every voyage. Okay, we are in the sphere of influence of the moon, so we want to get down to the periapsis. Oh, wow, which is 10 kilometers above the surface. That's scary. So what I'm going to do is point toward radial, and I'm going to raise my periapsis just a little bit with a deep throttle. There we go. 25 is my aim. There we go. So that will keep me from crashing into like any mountains that might just appear out of nowhere. And I think I hear a roommate in the front room playing around with the kitchen. Anyway, I hope that doesn't come up on the video. That's always my greatest fear, is that something will make the video seem less professional. I mean, they're already pretty unprofessional as it is, but even less so. Okay. So you can see the moon below us, maybe, not really. And we'll go back to map view where you can actually see things. And throttle up until we circularize. And of course we'll try to land on the light side of the moon. There we go. Now let's go a little bit more. There's our suborbital trajectory. And so we'll try to land somewhere around here on the light side of the moon. So let's warp. And sorry guys, you're going to have to see dark side of the moon for a bit as we come over the moon to the sunrise that we missed. Sorry. And normally I would try for a suicide burn, but I don't have all the numbers in front of me of how much delta V I need in order to accomplish that suicide burn. And I can get them by creating a maneuver node, but I don't know everything else that I'm going to need, whether or not I have enough fuel in this tank. I think I do, but I don't want to risk slamming into the surface of the moon. So anyway, I'm going to start my burn here. No, quite a bit farther. I'm still way above the surface. Let's see what looks like a good spot to start the burn. This looks about good here. Yes, this is Neil Armstrong material right here. Yeah, this looks about good. Actually, I think we're going to slam into the surface. So I'm going to pitch up a little bit, and this will push me away from the surface a little bit and buy myself a little bit of time. Okay, that looks good. Because that mountain range was looking pretty dangerous there. But I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be fine. Alright, cut off just at a perfect time. Look at that. The retrograde is pointing straight up, so I just have the downward burn. Let's get rid of this thing. And now we're on this little efficient engine. This is going to get us onto the moon. And then back home is the idea. I'm watching my shadow down here. Okay, I don't want to do too much in deep throttles. But at the same time, I don't want to start going up again because that's wasted fuel. Perfect. Well done. Okay. So the thing about what I was doing there was, I love how the fuel tank is just rolling away. Go, fuel tank, go! So the thing about that pulsing of the engine, that's something that really does happen in real life. And so they use I think it was, it's a hypergolic fuel mixture that they can use multiple times. Let's see, let's grab a surface sample. Alright, keep that, and get back in. So that allows them to ignite several times, because usually they don't have a hypergolic fuel mixture, because hypergolic fuel mixtures are very reliable, but they are also less efficient. It takes more fuel to do less. Anyway, I'm going to start getting into orbit while I talk. And so the more fuel efficient engines they'll use in like maneuvers and getting off of the surface of a planet, that's where they'll use things like kerosene with oxygen, and that'll be like the first stage on the Apollo missions. And then they'll start using liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, which will mix into water, and it combusts really very efficiently. So that's usually what they'll use to do maneuvers in space. But the problem with that is that you have to use cryogenic tanks. Anyway, these fuels are not hypergolic. That means that when they mix, they don't immediately explode. They usually need some sort of ignition source, and that ignition source usually comes in the form of a fuel slug. Most engine bells only have somewhere between 1 and 5 fuel slugs. Once those are used up, the engine can't be ignited anymore. It's been spent. But with a hypergolic fuel mixture, a fuel mixture that once the two fuels touch each other, they explode and ignite, you don't need that slug, and that means that you can ignite as many times as you want, assuming that the engine bell doesn't disintegrate or become overstressed or anything. So I just want to check I'm not going to crash into any moon mountains. I think I'm clear. So I can plan my trajectory back to Kerbin. And in fact, where I am right now is probably a good time. Yeah. So if I go right where I am now... no, that's not so good, actually. I'd want to go out as well. But that looks good. So... let's see, I want to go in at about 30 kilometers above the surface. And I just kind of want to check how long my video is at this point. I don't want to have it too long, because, yeah, I don't plan on editing at all. So let's warp to the maneuver node, and then perform that burn. Look at those craters. Those are some deep craters. And, okay. Perform the maneuver burn. Oh, looks like my brother is playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. How funny. I guess in the recording you don't see those pop-ups from Steam, which is nice for you, but they do kind of get in my way a little bit. I mean, not that right now I'm playing anything that really puts anything important in the lower right corner, but it does distract a little bit. Again, this is a game where I don't have to concentrate too hard, except when I'm dealing with numbers and like immediate emergency burns. Okay, so I've missed my mark. I'm going to continue burning a little bit more, and so now I'm off of a maneuver node. I want somewhere around 30. There we go. perfect. And now we can just warp about to where we get near Kerbin. Oh! Shoot, just slingshot around Kerbin. You gotta be careful about time warp for things like that. At any rate, so we're coming around for our next encounter. So really, I went through the atmosphere on that, but the game was running so fast it didn't calculate any of it. Good thing I didn't smash into Kerbin. That would have been really embarrassing. And Jebediah's wife would never have forgiven me. Is it that he has a wife, or did I decide that he has a girlfriend? I don't remember. One of the two. Anyway, we're going to get rid of this. We're going to rely solely on battery power at this point, but we have plenty of battery. I think we'll be fine. Yeah. Alright, and hit the atmosphere. This is always the fun part, right? Where you get to see flames everywhere. And I might actually get pretty close to the Space Center, because that's the Space Center right there. And this is my trajectory. If I angle this just right, I might actually be able to get to the Space Center a little bit. Let's angle it this way. So this is also something that they do in real life, is they'll angle their re-entry capsule. And in fact, they'll give a little bit of weight on one side to help them angle it, so that the heat shield almost acts like a wing a little bit, and kind of pushes them a little bit to where they want to land. Right now, obviously, I want to land as close to the Space Center as I can, just to see if I can do it. I don't think I can, but you know, you never know until you try. The thing is that the capsule is getting a lot of heating because of the angle. It's not being completely shielded by the heat shield, but the heat shield is allowing the heat to decay a little bit. It's sloughing off the heat as the chemicals react with each other, and it becomes an endothermic reaction. So what that means is, well, the heat shield has chemicals, and when they're heated up, they interact with each other, which takes that heat and converts it into a chemical reaction, and that reduces the heat, but then it becomes useless. So the chemicals are also designed to slough off as they react, so that they don't stay on the surface of the heat shield, and more, you know, the fresher ablator is revealed underneath and allowed to slough off more heat. Anyway, you can see the Kerbal Space Center right here. So I want to try that wing trick a little bit again. Now that we've slowed down a bit, we're not overheating so much. I don't think I'm going to be able to correct enough to get to the Space Center, but I might land in the water next to it. Actually, we're slowing down quite a bit now. I might not even get to the water. Yeah, that's starting to look doubtful. So now we're just waiting until I can pull the parachute. Yeah, we're not going to hit the water. But you can see the models loading up. Yay! We're so close to the Space Center. Just a walk away. A hop, skip, and a jump. Alright. Now this is like the second most boring part of spaceflight, is just waiting to land with the parachute. And touchdown. Hallelujah. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. I look forward to more challenges that I can accomplish. I think next time we'll try the X-Wing. Again, I got a third challenge idea that I thought was good, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, until next time, have fun, and you know, send me your challenges.